my friend here, Socrates, means that Islam encompasses all your life, not just the spiritual aspect, like how to go to the toilet, what hand to eat with, right?
Well, I said that I do not, if you are going to describe Islam as a way of life and not only a spiritual way of life, then yeah, I wouldn't disagree with this. I do believe, yeah, I mean, like, for example, when it comes to, let's say, for example, when it comes to sports, sports is not a spiritual thing. However, Islam basically encourages people to practice, sports and to be strong physically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So I do not disagree if you guys are going to say that Islam is a way of life. I'm not disagreeing with this. I completely agree with you that Islam is a way of life, 100%.
So you agree? So you agree Islam is totalitarian?
No,
Okay,
that's my
absolutely
point of
wrong
contention.
and very easily provable. So Islam is not only totalitarian; it's one of the most totalitarian, if not the most totalitarian ideology in probably in human history. So
Okay,
it's
so
much. It's, for example, Islam is much more totalitarian than communism and Nazis, for example.
okay, well, I can come to you and say, hey, atheism or like
Yeah.
Christianity
So
or
now I need to give
Zoroastrianism.
evidence. So you are
Well,
instructed to follow.
I need you to quote me. I mean, you can say, I can come to you and tell you, hey, Judaism is a satanic religion. And if you ask me why, I'm going to tell you, okay, because they are instructed to worship Satan and they are instructed to consider
That's not
Satan
true at all.
God.
That's not true.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's true.
Okay, I understand.
I'm just saying, look, you can make all different types of claims that are not true. If you are not able to back them up by evidence, then your claim is just a claim. So if you are going to come to me and tell me, hey, Islam is more totalitarian than, Marxism and Nazism, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I heard your claim 3 times. Now, I need you to show me something from my book, show me something from my book, from my scripture that proves your point. Because
Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, the definition of totalitarian refers to a form of government or political system in which the state exercises complete centralized control over all aspects of public and private life. Is there any ideology in human history that is closer to this definition than Islam?
Actually, Islam is the complete opposite than the definition that you just quoted. If the definition of totalitarianism, according to what you said, is that the state or the government has complete domination over all the private and the public affairs, and that the government has complete domination, that's completely contradictory to Islam, because in Islam, the leader or the caliph does not have complete domination. We can isolate the caliph very easily if he decided not to follow the law.
Yeah, but
So according to your own definition, Islam is not totalitarian, because first of all, they do not have, by the way, control when it comes to the private affairs at all. The Islamic government does not have the right at all to break in somebody's house and to violate their privacy under any circumstance. There is nothing called that the government or the caliph, has
does you have dress code? Do you have dress code? Yes.
You don't have a dress code, no.
You don't have a dress code in Islam. So women don't have a dress code.
No, they don't have a dress code.
Hold on, can I say something?
Okay. Yes, please.
Sorry about that, but do women have to wear hijabs and men have to have beards? Grow, at least spread the beard, as Muhammad said.
Define what do you mean by have to?
Well, do you have to grow is it a must to have a beard?
So you're saying, is it a must for me as a male Muslim to grow my beard, and if I do not do it, then I'm going to be punished?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, that's the meaning of a must. Something that you must do, and if you do not do it, then you get in trouble.
So not communism and Nazis didn't have any dress code. Islam, in contrast, Islam, the ideology is, although it doesn't make it, although Sharia obligates women to wear hijab and so on, dress codes and so on, men, according to the Sunnah, although they are not obligated by law to have a certain dress code, nevertheless, the ideology indoctrinate and incites them to have a specific dress code. So, unlike communism and Nazism, Islam in this aspect has in fact a dress code. So in this aspect, it's more totalitarian than these other ideologies.
Again, like you're still doing the same thing. Can you quote something from the Quran or from the Sunnah? Like, I want to be technical, you know. Like you're saying, okay, we have a dress code. I would argue that no, we do not have a dress code. You know why? Well, I have been to multiple Muslim countries, and I personally, I do not have a beard. I do shave my beard, you know, every 2-3 days, and I do not believe, like, even if you were living under the Ottomans or the Abbasids or the Fatimids or whatever, if you shaved your beard, you wouldn't get in trouble. So, and that's why I was asking the other guy to define what do you mean by have to. When you say that women and men have to grow their beards and women have to put on the hijab, like, it depends what do you mean by have to. If you are saying that according to the scripture, according to the commands of God, God has commanded us to be modest, then yes, and we do have to follow the word of God.
And you are commanded to...
Just wait. However, if you have somebody who is a Muslim and who's a sinner, because we, like, you know, one of the misconceptions that people have about Islam, or if you defy the law, then you get punished. It's not true at all. I mean, like, you know, according to Islam, you cannot use profanity, for example. Okay. If I use profanity,
why though?
Well, because profanity is vulgar, and we do believe.
Okay, so another totalitarian thing. Another totalitarian thing.
No.
So Islam imposed.
Look. We are going. Like, just let me finish my point. The thing is, we can talk about, you know, things like why is, like, you know, being vulgar is morally bad. That's a whole different thing. Because if you're an atheist, then you don't believe in objective morality. That's a whole different conversation. But my point is, even if you have something that the book is telling you that you should do, that, hey, if you are an adult woman, you should put on the hijab. Even if you decided not to, or even if I decided as a male not to grow my beard, that's completely fine. You are not going to be punished by the government.
I already said that, but there are but you didn't follow what I said. There are certain forms of coercion. There is also the social appropriation, social pressure. There is not only law, and I already said that there is in fact law for women. So Sharia obligates women by law.
Pressure?
So
I mean, yes, there is a law for everybody. Yes, we do believe in
so in that extent, we have in difference to communism and Nazism, who they don't have any dress code. In Islam, you have a social appropriation to males to have to follow. Wait just a moment, sir. Wait just a moment, sir. Okay, to follow the Sunnah of Muhammad, and there are incitements in Islam to follow the Sunnah of Muhammad in order to be a good Muslim. So there is.
Why
so
wait just follow it?
So let me respond.
Why can't I follow it though?
Okay,
I mean, look, I mean, like, you know, I was listening to you, but like...
No, you are not listening to me, sir. If you notice...
Yes.
Wait just a moment, sir.
Wait
just a moment, sir. Now you will make an argument.
Do not yell
because,
over me. Look,
no,
I am
listen,
interrupting you for a reason.
No,
you are not providing...
You are not my authority to interrupt me for a reason. If you note, when you talk, I patiently...
because you're yelling at me right now. You're muted, right? So look, you know, I am interrupting you for a reason. I heard you out. I asked you to provide an evidence from the book, and you are not doing it. Like, you are comparing Islam to Nazism and Marxism, like, you know, depending on your arbitrary way. And when I ask you, can you please provide me with a verse from the Quran that says, you know, that you are forced to follow something, and if you do not do it, you know, if you do not grow your beard, for example, you are going to get in trouble. Can you do this? I mean, like, you know, if you're not willing to engage in the conversation...
So if you remember my claim, sir, is that in women you have in fact dress code applicable by law. So let me give you... you deny that? Prove it. Okay.
Prove it. Yeah.
So, I mean, denying that is... I don't know why we are spending now time, like, I don't know.
Show me where does it say that you would get in trouble if you do not grow your beard as a man, or that you are going to be punished
No.
if you do not put on the veil as a woman. Show
Yes.
me that.
Okay. Are
Because that's the definition of a dress code. Like if you have a dress code in your work office and you go to the office without wearing a suit, you're going to get in trouble. But if you do not get in trouble, then it means that the suit is not a dress code.
at least you admit that in most you accept that in most Muslim that in certain Muslim countries wearing the veil is obligated by law. Do you accept
No,
that?
I
You don't
believe
know.
anybody. I believe that if you have a country that calls itself Muslim and they are imposing the hijab on the women, and if the women refuse to wear the hijab, then they would put them in jail or something. And I'm not saying that this is the case. I have never heard of any Muslim country that does that. But even hypothetically, if you have some people who do this, then this is a complete misrepresentation of Islam. Let me ask you this: have you ever been to a Muslim country before?
No.
Okay, I live in a Muslim country. I am talking to you from Cairo, Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that the vast majority of the girls in their 20s in the area that I live in, actually the vast majority of young girls in this country do not put on the hijab and they are completely fine, even that the Egyptian constitutional is basically stemming from the Quran. So
Okay.
the thing is, look, I am willing to have a conversation with you for 3 hours, but if you are not going to back up your
Okay, so
claims
let
by
me back up
evidence,
my claim. So now I
sure,
ask
go
Grog.
ahead.
Okay, yes, Sharia Islamic law obligates a dress code based on the principle of modesty, haya, for both men and women. This is delivered primarily from the Quran, Hadith, sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad. And
Quote the verse,
scholarly
please.
consensus, ISMA, for women. The mainstream scholarly position across the four major Sunni schools of thought, Hanafi, Maliki, Salafi, Hanbali, and Shia jurisprudence is that it is obligate for adult Muslim women to observe hijab in the presence of non-mahram men, those whom they could theoretically marry. Key requirements: cover the entire body except the
Quote the
face and
verse.
hands. Wear
Quote the
loose, non-transit. No, okay, so main Quranic basis. So I'm giving you now the Quran basis. Surah Al-Nur 24:31 instructs believing women to lower their gaze, guard their chastity, and not display their adornment, zinah, except what is apparent while drawing their veils over their bottoms. Surah Al-Arhaz 33:59 tells the prophet to instruct his wives, daughters, and believing women to draw their outer garments, jibad, over themselves for recognition and protection
Can
from
you
harm.
provide the verses in the? I mean, I
Okay.
hear you. Can you provide the verses in the side chat so I can pull them up?
Okay. Yeah, but with all due respect, sir, we are kind of wasting time because you are.
Well, we are wasting time because you are saying. I mean, like if your argument is that according to Islam you have to be modest and we do not allow indecent exposure, then I'm not going to even push back on this. Yes, if you are a woman or if you are a man, we are not going to allow you to walk in our countries with your penis and balls hanging out of your boxer shorts. If you're a woman, we're not going to allow you to walk around with your titties or with your ass hanging out of your bikini. Yes, we don't believe in this because we are not liberals. We have morality.
Oh, so you
We
have
believe in
dress
modesty.
code. In other words, you have dress code.
You don't have a dress code. You have to be modest. You can wear whatever you want as long as you're modest. A dress code is when somebody forces you to wear a certain style, a certain type of clothes, like a suit, for example. But if I tell you, hey, you can wear whatever you want, just do not don't walk with your freaking erected penis around because we're not going to allow this.
Yeah, but
So if this is your problem, look, if this is your problem, then okay, then we just disagree culturally. I mean, I used to. I've been to Greece multiple times, and I have been to beaches, and to be honest with you, I did not feel comfortable, seeing people walking around with their ass hanging out of their bikinis. But I did not go to them and be like, hey, you guys are a bunch of
yeah.
immoral, disgusting, degenerate people. I was like, no, okay, well, I believe this culture is inconsistent with my values. I'm not going to live in this place. I'm going to go and live in
Okay.
a more modest place.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this.
You are changing the
Again,
scope, though. You are making it a
no,
moral
no, no,
issue.
no. I wanna go back to the primary argument that you made, and I hope that you are going to provide an evidence this time. Because if you are not going to provide it, then I guess there is no point of having this conversation. Now, you're saying that Islam is totalitarian, and that Islam is mainly a political ideology. And then when I ask you, can you provide an evidence? You basically go to your Grok or to ChatGPT, and you be like, "Hey, is Islam a totalitarian ideology?" And then you read whatever Grok says. Well, this is not an academic, intellectual.
No, I didn't do that. Okay. So
can you pick up a verse from the Quran that supports your claim that Islam is mainly a political totalitarian ideology and not a religion?
Okay, so this is what I'm doing now. So if you remember, what we are addressing now is if Islam is totalitarian. If you accepted that directly, and because that is very obvious, if you accepted that directly, I wouldn't have to provide evidence to show you that Islam is in fact totalitarian. And now what I'm doing...
Can you quote a verse? Can you quote a verse that
I already did that.
That proves... No. Hear me out. You're saying that Islam is mainly a political ideology. Right, is mainly a political ideology, and the minor part of Islam is spiritual. Now, can you back up your claim?
Yes, this is what I'm doing. So the first... Okay, so now you accept that Islam is totalitarian?
No, I do not. Not at all. I'm asking you.
So that is the problem right now, because if
there is a problem because you're not able to back up your claim by
evidence. No, I'm just backing my claim. I gave you the dress. This is literally me backing my claim.
Sir, do you understand English? I'm asking you to pick up a verse from the Quran.
You know that you are talking to Socrates Son. I never make mistakes in logic.
I'm going to repeat my question one more time. If you are not going to put the verse in the side chat, I'm not going to talk to you any longer. You are saying that Islam is mainly a political ideology. Now, can you provide a verse from the Quran or from the authentic Hadith tradition that proves that Islam is mainly a political ideology and that the minor part of Islam is spiritual?
Okay.
If you are going to provide the verse, I'm willing to talk to you. If you're not, then you're...
So what you are expecting... So you are giving an impossible standard, because what you imply...
No, I'm not giving an impossible
standard. So let me respond
to that. You're the one who made the argument,
okay, so
and you're not able to back your argument.
Yes, but you are not letting me conclude what I'm trying to say. So what you want me, in fact, to do is find you a verse that says Islam is a political ideology. Is that what you want?
No, not necessarily verbatim. I just want you.
So what is the definition of political ideology?
I just want you. Let me ask you this: did you make a claim? Did you make the claim that Islam is mainly a political ideology?
Yes.
Let me ask you. Okay, you made that claim. So now, can you pick up a verse from the Quran that shows and supports your argument that Islam
what is the definition of a political ideology? You want me to read you? Because this is what I'm doing, but you don't understand that this is the way I have to do it. There is no other way. So the definition of a political ideology is this. Of political ideology.
Islam does have some political aspects, and I did concede to that. But I'm asking you, can you prove to me, using a verse from my scripture, that Islam is mainly a political ideology, and it's a cult, and it's not a spiritual Sir, are you able to provide that evidence?
I already do. I'm doing that, and you are interrupting me while doing that. Okay. So
put the verse in the side chat, please.
Okay. So I already show you. Okay. So let me first read what is a political ideology. It's a coherent set of beliefs, values, and principles and ideals about how society should be organized, governed, and imported. It provided a framework for understanding politics, power, economics, social relations, and the role of the state. So is Sharia part of politics in Islam?
What is Sharia, sir?
The Sharia law. The Sharia law.
Wait. Before you transgress into what Sharia is, he still needs to bring the verse.
Yeah. I got this, Dr. Prime. Socrates, can you please tell me what is the word Sharia?
The law. Islamic law.
Okay, so like when you say Sharia law, like you're basically saying law.
No.
You realize that, right?
Okay, yes, but okay, so so the same way a secular country has constitution, Islamic countries have Sharia. So is this part of politics?
I hear you, but you're deflecting though. Are you going to put up the verse in the side chat? Are you
deny that the Sharia is applicable?
look, Socrates, let me explain to you what you're doing right now, because look, I have dealt with hundreds of people like yourself. What you're doing is you're basically using the old-fashioned Orientalist argument, the book argument. You are creating a whole Orientalist fictional perception about Islam that's completely inconsistent from reality, and you are using this fictional Orientalist perception to justify demonizing Islam.
I'm not demonizing anything. I'm just giving
ideology. Now, I don't care about your Orientalist narrative. Your Orientalist argument would probably work if you're talking to like an 80-year-old boomer from Alabama or from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But you're talking to somebody who studied the scripture, who actually memorizes the scripture, and I do not care about your Orientalist narrative.
Okay.
So if you are going to come to me, and if you want me to concede to your argument that my book is actually a totalitarian book, you should be able to back up your claim by a piece of literature that I believe in. Look, are you capable of doing that or not? Yes or no?
Of course I'm capable. So
provided in
again,
the chat.
So now you want for political or totalitarian, because those are two separately. I was in the process of proving you that Islam is totalitarian, and then you changed the scope and you didn't accept my process, and you said, prove now Islam is political.
I am not.
So what do you want to do?
Accept anything. Look, man. Let me explain to you the way that I operate. You can sit in here and tell me, hey, you can compare Islam to Marxism and Nazism all you want. That's a very cheap tactic. This is not a professional way to have an intellectual conversation, because if you are going to criticize a piece of literature, if you are going to criticize a faith, then you should criticize the faith by pulling up verses from the faith and making an argument that basically that are orchestrated based on these verses. But what you're doing, you're Chad GPTing your argument, and then any 8-year-old boy can do what you're doing. Do you think that you're smart?
Okay, so let me respond to that. So now, because let's continue proving that Islam is totalitarian. So I just proved that it's with verses.
This is not my question. You got one more chance. If you keep doing this, I'm going to mute you.
What? Okay,
Socrates,
so what do you want me to do?
The argument that Islam, for the most part, is a political totalitarian ideology, and the minor part of Islam.
Okay, so what do you want me to prove? Political or totalitarian?
Okay. All right. You keep repeating the word totalitarian. I'm not sure if this is the only word.
Sir, you're abusing your.
I'm not abusing my power. I literally gave you 5 different chances to provide the verse and to engage in an honest political discourse, but you refused because you didn't have the ability to. If you didn't have the ability to engage in a political discourse or in a theological discourse, just say so. But again, you conceded that you made the argument that Islam, for the most part, is a political ideology, and the minor part of Islam is spiritual. Now, my position, I'm saying, actually, no, Islam, for the most part, is a religion, because Prophet Muhammad preached about God, preached about, doing things like prayer, like fasting and all of this, and that's the fundamental part of Islam. If you disagree with this, then what I want you to do, and this is the final chance that you are going to get, and you have no right to complain after this, if you disagree with me, then please pull up a piece of literature, a verse from the Quran or from the authentic Hadith tradition that proves that Islam is a political ideology for the most part and a spiritual religion for the small part. Are you capable of doing this?
Okay,
if
so
yes,
is Sharia political?
Put the verse in the chat
Is Sharia Islamic? So answer my question. Is Sharia Islamic?
Socrates, I'm not going to debate you based on your Orientalist bullshit. Put the verse.
You are an idiot. Stop. You are a fucking moron. So stop.
Okay, I'm a moron.
You are a fucking moron, and I will embarrass you in my channel.
Okay. Once you lose the argument, you start, chimping out. Be civilized.
That's it. I put one in chat for you. Address it.
Put the verses in the chat, please.
Okay, so you made all you are obviously you are afraid of me talking because I was doing exactly what you asked.
And then
okay,
I
already
I'm going to give you 3-4 minutes rights to.
But you are not letting me. No, guys, this guy is not letting me speak.
Put the verse in the chat. If
What,
you put the verse in the
what do you want me to put? A verse that says Islam
Just
is a
keep him
political
muted.
ideology? This is what.
Until he brings the verse, just keep him muted.
Okay. Put the verse.
What kind of verse do you know? A verse that says Islam is a political ideology?
That's not what I'm asking. No,
Okay,
not
so
at all.
I'm telling you, is Sharia part of Islam?
Sharia can be part of any governing system, not necessarily. No, I mean.
No. Okay, guys, do you agree? The other Muslims here, do you agree that Sharia is not part of Islam?
I'm not sure if we have any other Muslims here.
Okay, so are you really now telling me that Sharia is not part of Islam?
No, what I'm really telling you is I am giving you a sixth chance and the final one to put a verse in the side chat to back up.
Patrick, I put one in there for him. Look at it, man. Read it.
Okay, David. Okay, so no, I want you to read the verse and then make your argument. I am going to hear you out. Go ahead.
So what this religion does, right? They separate people. They separate Jews and Christians into the class of non-believers. Okay, this gives them the right to conquer their lands, to kill them, right? And we can look at Islamic history. We can look at early Islamic history
and make your argument based on the verse. Thank you.
Your religion is one of war, man. It's all about war. It's all about conquering.
I can say that your religion, I can say that your Judaism is also a satanic religion. Please read the verse. Please read the verse. Read the verse and make your argument based on the verse.
No Muslim would die, but Allah would admit in his stead a Jew or a Christian in hellfire. So non-Muslims are inferior, right?
I actually, hold on, I am, okay, so the hadith that you're talking about.
Oh, Patrick has already been muted. That's wonderful.
Yeah, what's the number of the hadith now? No,
it's a Sahih. It's the highest chain of transmission. It's the most credible.
No, the number of the hadith. That's 2767, right?
B.
Okay, so
you forgot the B.
Okay, so let me
2767B.
Okay, so let me read you some political verses in Islam.
So I am hearing you. So hold on, the guy who put the verse in the side chat. Go ahead, I am hearing you. I got the verse, and I'm waiting for your argument. So please go ahead.
Okay, does Islam has a second-class citizens for unbelievers?
David, Socrates, I gave you a lot of chances now. Let David talk. So, David, you put a verse in the side chat. Now, I want you to go ahead and make your argument based on the verse.
Who are you talking to?
According to Allah, right, are non-Muslims inferior to Muslims?
In what sense? In the humanitarian sense?
In political sense. In political sense.
Yeah, legality-wise, law-wise, moral-wise, right, righteousness.
So, okay, well, I do believe that a Muslim is more righteous than a Christian, 100%, yes.
In political sense, answer this question.
So, are you, David, are you making the argument that Muslim people get more rights under Islam? They get to have
They do.
Yes, this is the argument.
Okay. We already know this to be true.
Okay, I'm here. Look, you don't have to talk over each other. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
You have not been stopping to speak. You've been speaking nonstop, dude. Do you realize that?
Hey,
I've been observing
you
this.
just got here. Shut up.
No, nigger, you've been speaking nonstop.
Okay, David, go ahead.
Well, we already know this to be true, right? In Islamic societies, non-Muslims are inferior, according to law, compared to Muslims.
Prove it, please. Prove it, please.
Okay, so
let's bring up law. Here, one sec.
Well, David, what's wrong with that?
The Dhimmis aren't they politically inferior?
Bro, yo, wait, pause. The word dhimmi...
Yeah, look, it's a monotheistic religion, right? I don't see what's especially bad about thinking that people who believe in the right religion are superior to people who don't. I'm not a Muslim. I'm just saying, it seems a strange thing to criticize them.
Well, we don't find that in Judaism. We don't find that in Christianity.
Talk, please, because, Socrates, I am actually glad...
In Christianity, at least, I don't know about Judaism, but in Christianity...
Sir, can't you hear me talking? You're talking
be condemned.
Can we be civilized? Can't you hear me talking? Socrates made a point, and I'm trying to address it right now. Do you have me on mute?
In Christianity, those who disbelieve will be...
Okay, well, he probably has me on mute, so...
The dimnis, second-class citizen.
Okay, I am glad that you mentioned this word. So, meme or whatever your name is, if you hear me, you probably have me unmute. I'm not sure. If you can hear me, unmute me because you're talking over me. So that's why I muted you. So Socrates, like,
Sorry, was somebody else speaking as well?
Yes, I am talking. In case if you can't hear me. So Socrates, you used the very, like, beautiful word, actually. Like, you used the word dhimmi. Do you know what the word dhimmi means? Because I mean, like, the
people.
word dhimmi. Oh yeah, so like, so the word dhimmi basically comes from the word dhimma, which means the people who have right, the people who have protection. So we literally
are they different against the law? Are they have different rights against the law?
Yeah, talk about jizya.
Well, they have equal rights. You want to talk about the jizya? Okay. Hold on, like the jizya. Okay. All right. So
who muted me? I didn't. Sorry if I did something wrong. I was just chatting to David.
Well, the problem is you haven't muted, so you're not in the whole conversation.
Have who?
Can I say something?
Okay, well, I believe he either blocked me or he's
have who muted?
He can't even hear me.
You cannot, sir. You cannot hear Patrick. Maybe you have muted Patrick because you talk over him. Nim.
Oh, maybe. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, yes, that, and you keep talking over him. That's why. Yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah, so, okay, David, so, like, I just want to address I mean, like, you guys keep basically repeating the same points over and over, but it's my pleasure to address your points. So, like, you're saying, David, you said the non-Muslims were treated under the Islamic rule in an unequal way because they had to pay the jizya. Okay, well, everybody under an Islamic rule had to pay a tax. Everybody. And if you do not pay a tax, do not interrupt me, please. I am talking. If you do not pay a tax under the government, you are going to get in trouble. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the American government, the Islamic government, whatever. If you are a Muslim or a non-Muslim and you do not pay your taxes, you are going to get yourself in trouble. Now, the notion that, that Christian people had to pay a tax and that Muslim people did not have to pay taxes, that's completely false. The jizya is a tax that the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, who are capable of going to war and to fight, like somebody who's physically capable of joining the army, is going to pay in order for him to be exempted from joining the military. Now, if you are a monk, if you are a nun, if you are somebody who's financially incapable, if you are somebody who's old, or if you are a child, you don't have to pay the jizya. On the other hand, Muslim people, without an exception, doesn't matter if you're poor or not, you have to pay the almsgiving because it's one of the five pillars of Islam. Now, the question is, if Muslim people under any circumstance, it doesn't matter if they are old, fat, skinny, poor, or rich, they do have to pay the almsgiving, and if they do not, they would get in trouble. And the almsgiving, by the way, the percentage of the almsgiving is higher than the jizya in some cases. And on the other hand, Christian people, a lot of them get exempted from paying, the jizya. But hypothetically speaking, let's say that every single Christian and every single Jew is going to pay the jizya, and every single Muslim is going to pay the almsgiving. So realistically speaking, everybody pays a tax. Now, how is that unfair, David?
Okay, so let me explain. It's not about being unfair.
No, I'm talking to David because David is the one who made that argument. How is that unfair, David? Hello, David, or are you there?
Well, yeah, I'm here. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk. Open your Jew mouth.
I was talking. Wow. Open my Jew mouth. Wow.
Yeah, open your Jew mouth and talk, yes.
Okay, so...
You want that?
Oh, come on, David.
Okay, so you want me to respond to that, sir?
I don't see this concept in Christianity, right?
No, David, answer my question, please, David. No, David. Look, do not do me like this, man. Answer my
Your
question.
religion is of war. That's all.
David. Okay, you're disingenuous, David, because you're
Okay,
not
so
able to answer the
let me
question.
respond to that, sir.
Hold on, Socrates. I'm going to come back to you in a second, Socrates, but just to make sure, David, you made an argument. I completely explained to you that everybody had to pay a tax, and I asked you, how is that unfair? And then you basically deflected like the Jew you are, and you said, oh, no, well, your religion is a violent religion. Okay, well, back to Socrates. Back to Socrates.
Okay, so the difference is, what you didn't catch, sir, is that now we're not making the moral argument against the Dhimmi position that we can very easily make. We are making the political argument. So what we see in Muslim societies that proves that they are political is that they separate, people are not the same against the law according to their religion. So the difference is, in taxation, they pay zakat, Muslims pay zakat, Dhimmis pay jizya. In political power, Muslims can hold higher offices, Dhimmis generally barred from ruling positions or senior government roles. Military, Muslims are obligated and allowed to serve. The Dhimmis are exempt from service. Legal testimony, full weight in all cases. Testimony often given less weight in cases involving Muslims. Marriage, Muslim men can marry Christian or Jewish women. Dhimmis men cannot marry Muslim women. Public practice, full public religious expression. When it comes to Dhimmis, private worship allowed, public displays sometimes restricted. Apostasy, not applicable to Muslims. Dhimmis conversion. Okay, so
wait. Pause. Apostasy is not applicable to Muslims. Apostasy is only applicable to Muslims. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You have no clue what you're talking about. You're just ChatGPTing shit, and you're reading off of your screen. Apostasy only applies to Muslims. It does not apply to anybody else.
I don't know in what sense you're right about that. I don't know in what sense it says here. But conversion to Islam is allowed. Wait just a moment. What he meant, what it means here is that to Dhimmis, conversion to Islam is allowed, but when it comes to Muslims, they cannot become Christians or Jews. This is what it meant. So my claim. Okay, so now
become a Christian or a Jew.
Okay,
like, why would you
so now my claim, sir,
if
you set aside the moral argument that you are doing, and if you remember, the initial claim was is Islam political, a political ideology? Okay, that proves that. Because
no, Socrates, this is not the main claim, actually. The main claim that I gave you 6 different chances to prove and you failed is that you claimed that Islam, for the main part, is a totalitarian political ideology. And I asked you a very simple question. Can you pull up a verse and let's discuss it in the same way that David did?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're afraid of ending up like David because you are going to embarrass yourself because you cannot prove that using my scripture.
Okay, so
and that's why you have to appeal to your Orientalist narrative. You just have to say, well, Islam, this and that. Well, I can come to you and say all different types of things about, about your people. I can come to you and say, hey, you guys Greeks, you have a very long history of pedophilia, for example, and you are yourself a pedophile. If I'm not able to back that up by evidence, then I'm just a yapper. So, Socrates, do not waste my time, man. You're not a child. You're an adult. So please.
Okay, so let me respond to that. Okay, so there is a fallacy.
I don't want you to respond to that. I don't want you to respond to that.
Yes, this is what I'm doing, if you let me.
In the side chat, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes to hear your argument based on the verse.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so what you are doing now is the logical fallacy of asking me to bring you a quote that actually says word by word.
You to
wait just a moment.
Quote, not at all. What I'm asking you to do, let me clarify. Okay, well, you probably do not understand English very well. Let me simplify to you. What I want you to do, I want you to go to the Quran. I want you to open up the book and pick up any verse that you would like. Pick up any verse, go to the Hadith, go to the Quran, and pick up any verse that you would like to pick, put the verse in the side chat, and come to me, and then make an argument, orchestrate your argument based on a verse that I have in my book.
Okay.
If you're not going to do this, if you are not going to do this, then I am not interested in having a conversation with somebody who's appealing to an
Yes, but I need to give, but I cannot give one verse that describes everything. I give you
6 verses. Yo,
okay,
put 10 verses.
So now you accept that
open up the book.
Okay.
Open up the book. Hear me out.
Okay.
Open up the book. Open up the book. Pick up 10 verses and put them in the side chat and make 10 different arguments based on the verses. I am going to hear every single one of them out, and I am going to dismantle all of them.
So
pick as much.
Okay, I already give you the Dimini verse. So do you accept now that Islam is at least political?
What is the verse, please?
So I gave you the Dimini example. The Dimini example.
No. Give me the verse, please. What's the number of the verse, please?
You don't accept what I gave you now, the Dimini.
What's the number of? I'm not saying that I do not accept it. I'm asking you what is the number of the verse, please.
Quran 9:29.
Okay, thank you. Quran 9. Quran 9. 29. Is that the verse that you're talking about, Socrates?
Yeah, the Dimini status is in Islam.
Okay. Okay, so like you're talking about Quran 9:29, correct?
Do you accept that Dimini status is part of Islam?
Can you please read the verse and make your argument based off of it? You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
I just proven that Islam is political. Do you accept that at least Islam is political?
You did not prove anything. I am waiting for you to go ahead and to read the verse because I have the verse pulled up in front of me, and I am giving you the chance.
What is the argument now that this verse, Dimnis are not part of Islam?
I am not even making an argument. I am just waiting for you to go ahead and read the verse that you mentioned and make your argument.
What I want to prove with this verse, that Dimnis exists. Or do you doubt that? I don't understand what I need to do.
Can you read the verse? Can you read the verse aloud for everybody and then make your argument, please? I am waiting for you to make your
Okay, so what is the verse? Yes, read the verse.
Can I read it for him?
Yes.
Okay, so like let me read it for you. So like it says, okay, all right. So okay, hold on. Okay, so like it says, fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, nor comply with what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of the truth from among those who were giving the scripture until they pay the tax willingly, submitting fully humbled. Okay. What is your argument, please?
That the Dimni status that is well known in Islam, that is well established in Islam, proves that Islam is political. Do you doubt that?
The argument, repeat that one more time.
The Dimni status, okay, that is that is established in Islam, proves that Islam is at least political. Do you accept that?
So the verse 9:29 proves that Islam is political. That's the argument. Are you serious?
No, you didn't understand what I'm saying. The Dimni status.
I literally repeated what you said. Okay, go ahead.
The Dimni status that I just read you here before, okay, that comes from this verse, but there is also other context, okay, proves that at least Islam is political. Do you accept that?
I do accept that Islam does have some political aspects. No. I do accept that Islam does have a political aspect, and I did concede at the beginning of the conversation that Islam is a way of life. However, my point of contention with you is when you described Islam to be, for the most part, a totalitarian political argument.
Okay.
If your argument, look, there is a huge difference between saying that Islam has a political aspect and between saying that Islam is a political ideology.
I agree. But but because the proposition that Islam is more political than a religion is a complex framework, and obviously I cannot give you one verse that says Islam is more political than.
No, I'm not even asking for you to give me a verbatim verse. I'm not even asking.
So I am establishing the factors one by one. So now we establish that Islam is political.
Okay.
One part. Then before that we establish that Islam is in fact totalitarian.
Like if you can talk after him. That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead, Socrates.
So then before that, if you remember, I was attempting, and I think I did that. I established that Islam is totalitarian. So now,
no, you did not.
Yes, I gave you the dress code. If you like, we can continue.
No, you did not. No, you did not. You did not. You actually, like you said, hey, like Islam has a dress
code. Okay, so let's now establish if Islam is totalitarian.
Wait, so like if you got, hold on. Is corporations part of capitalism or part of totalitarian Marxism?
corporations
Yeah.
is part of capitalism. I don't know. Yes, it is.
So if you have a corporation, because as far as I know, I did work for a corporation before. I did work for a real estate company before, and it was an American company. And, you know, I used to work remotely, but they did have a dress code. Would you describe this capitalist corporation in the United States of being totalitarian merely because they have a dress code?
No, because that is only in business. In business, you can have a dress code.
Okay.
And people can join your business if they like or not.
So the business is totalitarian, but the society is not. How can a capitalist business be totalitarian?
Okay, so just the dress code in a business doesn't establish if it's totalitarian. But
no, like if your argument, look, I mean, like, you know, I'm not even conceding that Islam has a dress code. I think this is wrong. Islam does not have a dress code. That's completely false. But like your argument, you are basically saying that Islam is totalitarian because you're saying that Islam has a dress code. Okay, hypothetically, even that's true, but hypothetically speaking, if I am going to concede that Islam does have a dress code, now, does this mean that any organization, like if the thing that makes Islam totalitarian is the assumption that Islam has a dress code, now, does this mean that the capitalist corporations are totalitarian? Because that would be a big fat contradiction.
Yeah, you're right about that. Just the dress code doesn't prove totalitarianism. It's just one evidence.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we can go to the next.
Hold on, like, you know, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. So having a dress code does not necessarily mean that you're a totalitarian. Then why are you
It's a big evidence. It's not conclusive, but it's a big evidence, but we can continue the evidence.
It's a big evidence. Okay, so can you prove that Islam has a dress code? Because I don't believe that Islam has a dress code.
Yeah, I already did that.
No, like, hold on, like, you know, can you show me, like, what type of clothes should I wear as a male? Because I can wear, like, you know, t-shirts, I can wear long sleeve t-shirts, I can wear jackets, I can wear vests, I can wear cut shirts, I can wear all different types of things. I can wear an oversized shirt, I can wear baggy pants, I can wear, you know, I can wear a lot of things. So I do not have a dress code. So can you show me where does it say that I have
okay, so let me advance the argument. Do you accept that the Sunnah, the Hadith, that you are obligated to follow the Sunnah? Do you accept that?
I believe that if we are going, like, you know, it depends what do you mean by the word obligated, but if you mean that we should follow the Sunnah and we should follow the Quran, then yes, I do believe that this is the right thing to do. If you believe, if you're saying that under an Islamic caliphate you would be punished if you sin or if you defy the Sunnah, then this is completely false. So from a moral perspective, you have to follow the Quran, morally speaking. However, if you decide not to follow the Sunnah, if you decide to shave your beard, for example, I believe that's fine. You know, it's not a big of a deal. I mean, like, nobody's going to fucking lash you if you decide to shave your beard. I want to, like, before you continue, because, like, you know, Salam has been here for a lot of time, so I just want to give him a chance to speak, and then I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
You said the dhimmis are not humiliated and it means a protected class, right?
I did not say this, no. I said that the word dhimmi basically comes from the Arabic word dhimma, which means, you know, protection. However, you can have some Christians who are going to be humiliated for, you know, let's say a crime that they have committed.
Okay, so how would you explain the hadith that said, don't greet a Jew and a Christian with Assalamu alaikum, and if you see any of them, push them to the nearest side of the road?
Provide the number of the hadith so I can go ahead and check the authenticity of the chain of the transmission, please.
And even the Quran says that the protected people are there to be humiliated. So it's not a honorable title as you claim.
Well, I am waiting on him. I'm waiting on him to provide the evidence. I mean, look, you know, again, what you're doing, look, Socrates, trust me, I have read multiple books on Orientalism. You are a classical Orientalist, and you didn't even realize it.
That is a verse in the Quran. You don't accept Quran now.
I don't accept Quran, of course.
Because the Quran says to be humiliated or humbled.
The Quran does say that, yes, some of the Christians should
so
be humbled.
Is it an honorary title, or is the complete opposite, as you claimed?
No, it's not the complete opposite. I mean, like, everything has a
Is it an honorary title, the dhimmi?
Look, let me just explain something to you. Like, Islam is not a religion where we have to treat everybody in a good way. Not at all. I am not...
So now you agree that it's not an honorary title.
Hold on. Do not talk over me. Do not talk over me. Hold on, just let me just continue, because I don't want people to misunderstand my point. I am not commanded to treat somebody like Jeffrey Epstein in a good way, because he is a piece of shit. I'm not commanding to treat him in a good way. So, like, if we are going to talk about the Christians of the Levant who decapitated the peaceful messenger coming to them with a letter calling them to worship the true one God, and they were like, oh, that's blasphemy, we are going to kill you, I don't believe that this person should be protected merely because he's a Christian. Fuck him. Yes, he should be killed because he killed somebody else.
Yes,
it's not because he believes in Christ.
But you're not following the argument.
He fucking decapitated the guy. So yeah, he has to be humble.
You made a claim initially, sir. You made a claim initially, and you said that dimnis is an honorary.
Hold on, Socrates. Like, he was pulling up the verse. So, like,
okay.